Hi everyone, this is PHA Guildford and Surrey Hills. I'm Nicole Anderson and today I'm here with Helen and
Hi.
we're about to get to know Helen a little bit more. What we are trying to do as a group on the ground is to create enough awareness on PHA while at the same time bringing to life our growing community in our area. So Helen is joining us today. So Helen, please, why don't we give the audience a little bit of an introduction to you, your history, and your speciality as a practitioner.
Okay, so I am a colour specialist. That's my main area. I do Reiki and massage and aromatherapy and EFT tapping, if anybody's aware of that. So it's working with all energy, frequency and vibration, and colours is a very big thing for me because it is so beautiful and so powerful, and it shifts energies around very swiftly without actually getting into, having to go into the deep dark past specifically and revisit those old wounds. I came into it many years ago. Actually, it was about over 30 years ago. I've always been interested in alternative health and spirituality and self-growth and enlightenment, and I discovered Aurosoma many years ago, and it just blew my mind. I just cried my eyes out, had a session and cried my eyes out, and then, as most of us have, we have our life journey and our paths to go down. So I had a very deviated path of living in the real world, where I was in sales and hospitality and the corporate world as well, and I did training and teaching in the travel industry, and I actually ended up having a stroke at 42, and that kind of was a little bit of a wake-up call, but it sort of nudged me back towards the path again. And then the colours found me, colour mirrors found me again, and I decided to take it seriously. So I'm now a practitioner and teacher in the colour mirrors, and they are just a beautiful energy to work with. They work very well with one-to-one interactive sessions. I can do group workshops, which are great fun, and I can do team building with them as well. They're equally powerful with children. Children don't have the filters that we have. We go to school, we're programmed forever, and then we spend the rest of our lives unraveling and unlearning. Children have less of that. So actually, if there's any children going through anguish and upset, it's a very swift, powerful way of helping them through play almost. So yes, very powerful tool. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. Is that...
No, that's perfect. And look, I mean, how beautiful are these colours. So Helen's done 2 sessions on me, and what she's failed to bring to the fore as well is she works with scents, right?
Yeah, well, they're part of the set. So you've got the bottles, which are if you can see that there. So it's oil and water. They're aromatherapy bottles, all natural plant and flower extracts, giving oil and water, giving the split there of the colours, and everything means something. So it covers off astrology, the planets, the elements, numerology, the chakras. They're all based around the chakra system and the energy centres in the body. And this particular one, which I happen to pick up, is the solar plexus chakra. That represents that. So you've got the yellow of the solar plexus. So that's about coming out of your fear and into your own power. And the olive there, which is the green of the heart and mixed in with yellow of the solar plexus. So this is actually also representing suppressed anger. So it's clearing on fear and also suppressed anger, but it can indicate digestive issues and any issues around food and eating disorders, and could therefore help with clearing on that energy. So that's just one example of the bottles. And the sprays, which Nicole was mentioning, For example, there are about 50 sprays, so these are single frequencies, and these do have strong smells and scents. So you literally would, Nicole, you had our dose already this morning. This is a ruby red, this particular one. So they all have quite distinctive smells, and you just let the alcohol bit evaporate and then waft them over your electromagnetic energy field. So you're taking in the essence of that frequency. And the ruby red one, actually, it's a bit hard to explain that one, but it links in very much with ancestry and family and tribal energies. So there may be some connections there with clearing on issues around family and so on.
What a perfect segue.
Oh yeah,
that's a perfect segue. You know, I mean, talking about family and tribe and communities, right?
Yeah.
Bringing together people that have a core connection. So the PHA, for those who are not aware, is a very newly formed movement. And it is now, I mean, it's growing by the day. We have circa 85 to 90 communities that are formed across the UK, but we also have now groups forming and shaping outside of the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, France, I believe, Spain. So the whole philosophy of the PHA is catching on, which is primarily based on the fact that we are now in a shift of sovereignty, and sovereignty means obviously taking responsibility for what we've handed over in the past, whether it be our financial, economic welfare, whether it be how we govern ourselves, or whether it be obviously our health, health being, of course, in the forefront of everyone's mind. So the PHA is here to enable the people to take back the power they have to rebuild the health within their communities. And so the way we're intending to do that certainly is to build clusters of skills, talents, capabilities, of whether it be the kind of traditional world meeting more holistic disciplines, and it is literally, you know, a complete spectrum of skills and talents we are trying to bring together, all with the same, you know, familial, community-based belief that we can really heal from the inside out, and nature is the best way to heal.
Absolutely, totally. Yes, so we have a massive diversity of practitioners, going from, as Nicole says, from the medical fields right the way through to the holistic and the spiritual, such as myself. So we're looking at the underlying emotions which have caused you to manifest such sort of illness or ill health, essentially. So yes,
a lot of healing to do, and we all have the inner and the outer healing to cope with. So it starts with us. So on that note, Helen, what drew you to the ideals or the promise of the PHA? It's a very new organization, as we said, only a couple of months old, but what drew your attention initially?
I actually think we manifest all of our reality, and I think that this was literally coming into my field for quite some time. So it's been brewing, like I think a lot of us have been brewing and manifesting this massive awakening, which is happening in all aspects of our lives. But anybody who's in that health arena, I think we've all been visualizing it into reality. So as it usually transpires, I met somebody who had had double jabs and then I don't know if I should say that.
It's fine.
Had reactions and had a sudden awakening, and then she knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and suddenly I was in connection with people like Nicole, who's doing amazing work to sort of get the logistics of our group off the ground. So it just resonates absolutely with my soul. I think that on some level I've held back from really going for it in this arena because of what is out there in the real world at the moment. So I think that this is it's all about timings, and the timing is perfect for me, and it just feels right. You feel it in your gut, and there's be a lot of people out there in the world collective at the moment who are doing things which they're doing it because they should, or they think they ought to, or they think it's the law, but actually it doesn't resonate with their soul, and it doesn't feel right in their gut. So they will know at a soul level that something isn't right in their world, and that will be manifest through their health and well-being and other areas. So this is absolutely in alignment with what I feel I want to be doing, and that's getting back to grassroots level, community level, working with people face to face, making human contact again, where everything's become remote and online, and you press a button on a computer and it says you can have those drugs or you can't, or whatever it is. So this is all about building the new earth, which is will incorporate, and it's happening already, is those other sides which are growing our own vegetables and distributing them locally, and making our own tinctures and medicines, and having homeschooling and all of those things. This is just one of those areas which is what we're focusing on now. So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to that point, Helen and I have just been in our community spreading the word, you can, it's so interesting to see how in talking to people, you within a few seconds can see the openness or the fear, and there's almost no in between, right? People are either locked in fear, and it's very sad to see, or there is that kind of glimmer, and as soon as you say a couple of words, people open up. So I think for all of you out there, I'd like to certainly leave the kind of final thoughts with Helen in terms of her vision, but we need to connect with so many different skills. Health is everyone's business. No one wants to have ill health. It is literally the wealth of the future, has always been, really. And we need all kinds of support. We need people who have talents in understanding the rules of the earth, the way in which nature works, whether you be a farmer, whether you be a house builder, whether you have any understanding of how the human body works. We need people who understand how to communicate, people who understand technology. We need the salespeople out there. We need we need the marketeers out there. We need the dreamers. We need the creators. So we need everyone, because health is basically so primal and so fundamental, and we have to rebuild it. But I'd like to leave you, Helen, with your kind of call to action for the community out there. What would you hope to kind of impart with as a key message?
I think overall, it's about, if this resonates with you in any way, shape or form, and that is about having love for your fellow mankind, your families, your friends, your siblings, whoever you see flailing at the moment, and even if it's just yourself, just get in touch, make contact, just read up what's been going on. There's Telegram groups, there's the website, there's all sorts of social media. Just find a little bit about what's going on with the PHA and us locally, and see how you can get involved, because my vision, I personally see, as I said, it's got to be local, where we build back what was before, which is where you get back to having 3 generations living close by, and you've got that network of support for your vulnerable, whether they be elderly or whether they be young, and we all give our bits that we can, and some are able to give more than others, and some are able to give in different ways. So we have health practitioners. This is the main focus of this particular group, but we, as Nicole says, we need everybody. We're going to need cleaners, we're going to need IT people, we're going to need mechanics, all sorts. So it's essential just to get involved. We're going to need donations. So again, we still need energy, that energy flow, which is at the moment involves money, to make it happen. But whichever way you can get involved and informed, just do so, and reach out to others, because the sooner we get to a critical mass locally, the sooner we can make things happen on a practical level. So does that?
Yeah, absolutely. So no excuses really for all of you out there. But love to hear from you. Please keep watching our channel, follow us on Instagram, join our Telegram groups, on all our various channels. We have a Twitter handle as well. They'll be all listed at the bottom of this video. So thank you so much for your time, and see you on the next session.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Nicole.
Okay. Right. I'll just cut it.